improves Revenge of the Sith because that movie's boring and long.
Shut the fuck up. Revenge of the Sith is amazing.
No, it's not.
You're fucking gay.
It's only amazing in like context of the other two.
I don't know. It's been. I guess I was just.
Because
It's so let down. You're so let down by the first two, and when. Because I remember when the second one was announced, and they were like, it was called the Clone Wars, and I'm like, this is good.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah, I remember.
This is gonna be sick as fuck.
I remember
and
the posters of Jango Fett. You know, the ones just of him. I thought that looked sick, and I saw it. Did not like it.
Attack of the Bad Writing.
What? So when I was younger, my opinion always was that Phantom Menace was pretty cool. Because I liked that one when I was a kid.
Right.
And of course, when I was a kid, I hated Attack of the Clones because it's super boring. It's very, very boring. And then when Revenge of the Sith came out, it was like the first PG-13 Star Wars movie, and I watched it. And I was like, this is cool and kind of violent. And then
it's really dark. That's why I like it.
It's dark and it's grim. But I saw them all. I watched all the Star Wars stuff 2 years ago. And I started out with the prequels. And I saw Phantom Menace, and at the end, I was like, this might be the most boring movie, like the worst movie I've ever seen. Like,
the special effects did not age well, too. Like, the movement, like when they jump and shit,
it's so
looks
janky.
Fucking horrible.
I try not to. Okay, so here's the opinion I've come to have.
C-U-M.
So, I used to bash those movies for over relying on CGI, but I was thinking about it and I was like, well, now in like 2020, putting a lot of CGI is lazy and whatever. But back then, like, he was like pushing boundaries with it. Like, it wasn't normal back then to make like everything CGI like that. And like a lot of what we have now is because of the work he did on that. So I try not to bash it for that. We can bash it for everything else, though. Like the fact that...
I mean, I'm not going to bash it within the context of the year, but I am going to say that it did not hold up well
it's
at
not
all.
pleasant to look at now.
No.
And it's just... The prequel should have just been the story of Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it should have just been about them. But if you go back, the first movie, Anakin's a kid, so he's not even... he doesn't have any relation with Obi-Wan. In the second one, they're split up the entire movie. And in the third one, they're split up the entire movie, and the whole emotional stakes of the end of the third one is supposed to be based on Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship, which you never get to see. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's because you get to it develops off screen. You understand it. That's what they did with the original trilogy." I was like, "But the original trilogy isn't based on the relationship of Luke and Han. Like that's not the crux of it.
Yeah.
Like it's something you like, and Empire Strikes Back shows that there's stuff that happened between 1 and 2. Like you get to see that a bond kind of formed. You understand the context of it, but there's no context and no bond that you get to see in the prequels. And the other thing that annoys me,
you don't get to see anything. The prequels is literally a great outline, and terrible details. Basically,
yeah, it should have been great. All they should have done, they never should have made Anakin a kid in the first one, because here's his arc across the 3 movies. And everyone's like, "Oh, Anakin's decline to the dark side."
He's a white
so
slave
great.
in the first one.
Yeah, he's a child.
Yeah.
Then in the second one, he becomes a mass murderer halfway through. And then we're all supposed to think he's a good guy again by the time 3 comes out. And then he's a mass murderer again. And he kills a bunch of kids again. And it's like, this is the second time you've genocided children. It's not really shocking or a really great character like tragic fall when this is the second time you've murdered a school of children.
Yeah, he should have been a teen by this later half
one.
of exactly.
Yeah.
Because you could have him as a kid, but you just
you can't have him.
You're right.
You can't introduce him halfway through the first movie and have him be a kid.
And then maybe as a teen, Padme's like, "I'll suck this teen's dick," and not as a little kid.
Dude,
who, by the way, looks nothing like fucking Hayden Christensen. Doesn't look like him.
But does he look like Arnold Schwarzenegger's son?
Dude.
Does
I wish.
You've seen Jingle All the Way?
No.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he plays Schwarzenegger's son in that movie.
But that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
They pick like some fucking like Hitler Youth looking kid to play young Anakin, and then they're like, "All right, now Anakin." He's like, "How about a brunette guy?" It's like, what the fuck? Did you even watch the first movie, you fucking idiot? Like, it looks nothing like him.
Have you seen what happened to the actor who played the really young Anakin as he grew up?
Yeah, he got bullied, right?
No. Well, yeah, but he I think he like beat up his grandma and like was arrested for street racing. I'm not even joking. Like
He's like Justin Bieber then.
Yes,
He's
Justin
a cool
Bieber.
guy.
Yeah, and with singing that cool song about he's gonna join the KKK.
That
Except
was a
Justin
classic.
Bieber did that, not this guy. This guy is despite contradictions, I think beating up your grandma might be worse than saying the N word. You know, both bad, especially when you're singing on live TV.
Not today, bro.
Not yeah, well yeah, not today.
The beating up your grandma could be forgiven.
I agree.